Thank you very much for having me. Thank you everyone who's still powering through on this Sunday afternoon. I have the pleasure to talk to you about gaming influencer marketing now. I have to point out that this is not an academic talk. This is, I'm bringing to the table my practitioner's view, mostly based on 6 years of experience working in esports and gaming marketing. Mostly in a project management role, but also since the beginning of this year, I tried to incorporate environmental social governance into the business of Instinct 3. And with the acceptance of this talk to the conference, it was also strongly suggested to me to put the economic conditions and underlying limitations at the center of this talk. So this is exactly what I'm going to do in the upcoming 20 minutes. Talk about money in gaming influencer marketing, and also its ties to the whole company history of Instinct 3. What else is there to say? I can say right from the start that I don't have a definite answer to this talk's question. A simple reply, why is that, would be I can't, but a more complex reply would be at Instinct 3 we try to find good answers to these questions figuratively every day. So what I also want to provide you with this talk is the opportunity to think for yourselves, because everybody has experienced influencer marketing from consumer perspective, I suppose. What you think gaming influencer marketing should look like in the future. And also I want to point out that I believe this talk lies at the intersection of the conference subtopics, such as, of course, business of gaming, but also game-based career paths and playing for money. So what I've learned over the course of the weekend, that there are already several scholars, researchers of you who incorporate thinking about influencers and influencer marketing. So please keep your questions ready for the Q&A part, because I will only, I think, touch on several aspects briefly in the upcoming 20 minutes. And yeah, of course, there's many topics to discuss extensively. So I want to dive in and unfold different layers here of the history of Instinct 3 and how we're doing influencer marketing. So in the beginning, there wasn't Instinct 3 founded there. It was only one person named Maximilian Karl-Heinz Knabe who had the idea to publish gaming videos on YouTube. This was more than 12 years ago. He was doing this only just for fun, as a hobby, under the name of Hand of Blood. And he was doing this just for fun, but over time he built a followership. It was fun for him, he had success, and of course it was also a hell of a grind and a bit of bit and forth, because he was in the beginning was a student, but he experienced success, and he took the risk to make it more or less his full-time career, drop out of university, also sign with a then young company named Freaks for You Gaming, where he was doing an internship, later switched on into another role, but always continuing to push his YouTube channel, soon to be channels, and yeah, basically making a full-time career. And at Freaks for You Gaming, he also met his then later co-founders, which with them he decided to found Instinct 3, which basically was their own vision of an artist management. Simply put, an artist management that is focused on long-term development, development that is focused on the personal brand of the artist, and also kind of maximizing the potential of an artist. What you see here is a screenshot of the YouTube thumbnail. So a lot of the stuff I'm talking about in the first 2/3 basically of this talk is also, you can read it online, and a lot of the stuff is transparent, to be honest. So with that being said, there was Instinct 3. It was an artist management in the beginning, but soon became also a creative marketing agency, because clients not only requested campaigns with Hand of Blood, but also with other artists, and soon the skills that were already there about the business in YouTube, on Twitch, and influencer marketing was used to pitch and create campaigns with also other artists in the German-speaking market. And I'm standing here. It was a big success. There was a lot of growth, and especially in the last 2 years, we also hit several new milestones in the history of Instinct 3, which is a holding structures that enables new companies and new ventures, and also new companies within this holding structures, as well as moving into a new office, which was again also documented on YouTube if you want to dive in that deeper afterwards. So today, Hand of Blood has millions of followers who watch his content almost on a daily basis. But also Instinct 3, as I said, developed into an artist and creative agency with now 39 employees. And also since this year, 17 artists managed exclusively. So in total, I don't know the exact numbers, but it is a huge cumulative reach of several millions across different channels. And I will also want to dive in a little bit deeper into the company structure. So as I said, 39 employees at Instinct 3 who are working in different roles, such as producers, creative conceptors, editors, videographers, project managers like me, but also typical business roles who focus on business development and kind of sales. We all have that with inside Instinct 3, but what is also there is the i3 holding, where we have also typical business functions and roles such as finance, accounting, IT, human resources, all centralized within this company, which kind of felt right, and also there was a necessity in the point of founding Eintracht Spandau, which is an esports organization within this holding structures. There is a team playing in the highest League of Legends league in Germany. So a full team of 5 players, coaching staff, sport director, product director who manages sponsorships around this company, for this company. And there's a whole editorial and content team who create stories about the team, about the whole club, which are then also published on YouTube and all common social media channels. What we have else? It is the unit named Brave. It currently has 3 employees. It is a joint venture with the Universal Music Group, company Privado, who already did merchandising for years for musicians. And this unit here focuses on creating and setting up the distribution of the merchandise for our own creators, but also external content creators, as well as Eintracht Spandau. And there's also an international creative studios focusing on branding and content campaigns in esports, gaming, and beyond that. And maybe if you will hear some co-founder, other colleagues of me speak in the future, this this graphic will be added with new ventures because this is the whole idea here of this holding structures, to add new companies, to add new ventures that might have synergies within existing companies. So how does it work? Where is the money? Because this growth didn't come from one day to another. But of course, there are a lot of salaries now which have to be paid within this holding structures, and there are revenue streams that make this work. So if you have listened to the, or if you listened to the panel on Friday with Veni, he briefly also talked about different revenue streams, and I want to dive in that on the next two slides. When you think about Hand of Blood as only one person, it was probably those kind of revenues which were the first ones for him, those platform revenues. So content is published, in that case, typically on YouTube. If you make views, the company pays you a certain amount of ad revenue shares. Then we also have subscription-based revenue, which, as the name says, comes when users, when followers subscribe to your content. Usually it's content, but also sometimes on other platforms such as Twitch, it's also simply the possibility to have more or less unique interactions with you as a content creator. So this is a figure, a headline from 2021. YouTube has paid out 30 billion to creators as the competition for online content intensifies. This is a huge number, but I also put this headline in there to point out that we have a relationship here between the platforms and the content creators, which is a relationship that has to be taken care of, and where is a mutual interest between platforms to have those creators on the platforms who basically user generate all the content to make the platform relevant. But this kind of relationship is kind of one-sided a lot of times, and I would think maybe some of you know it better, but there are some characteristics of oligopolies because you only have a few platforms. Creators can't move that easily in between platforms. And there are only little available. I want to continue and pick up the pace a little bit. We also have campaigns in our industry. Those are typically game releases, new add-ons, publishers, developers who want to promote these games. Those are the classical ones. We also have, when it is more on a long-term basis, the partnerships, sponsorships, typically peripherals, hardware, those things that are used more often. Creators and companies can make mutually good deals with each other to invest in both sides of the businesses. Then, as I said, the merchandising, and what we're seeing in the past few years more and more often is product, services, franchises who are not necessarily connected to the creators itself, but of course promoted to them. A famous example is the dirty iced tea. Maybe some of you know it. It's from a rap artist in Germany. And also an example of Mr. Beast Burgers, a virtual restaurant chain opened up in the US, quite controversial. But there are possibilities to monetize the own brand into own products besides the known content. So once again, how does it work? Why is there money? It shouldn't be a surprise anymore. It's all about the reach the content creators are generating over time. We as Instinct3, we truly believe that we can do entertaining advertisements, entertaining campaigns, and this is also a main motivation to combine entertainment with marketing. But yeah, I don't want to make any illusion here. So it is all about the reach for companies, and of course they're commercially driven and motivated, so they want to sell. And as they learned of this new creator economy, they adapted, and also the media world adapted with carrying over also reference numbers to plan those campaigns. And this is the CPM, the cost per mil. So this is a reference metric that tries to quantify the value of the content created on a certain platform, and basically tells what thousands impressions are worth. So I brought two examples from our second quarter. Some CPN standards we have, for example, for a dedicated YouTube video, we have the CPM of 90, so the actual price for a 30,000 view video would be 2,700 euros. This is a number we take with us into negotiation. If we have a content creator who has this average, for example, then we would say to a client, you can make a dedicated video with this artist for 2,700 euros. There's another example with the Instagram stories with a CPM of 20 that brings us to 1,200 euros. So this is the technical part, but now I want to bring the less technical part back into the forefront, and also the responsibility. So back to the main question from this talk. Reach, impressions, views is kind of a codified language in this business. So terms you not directly connect with receiving humans at the end. So you always have to keep in mind it's the community in the end. So all the reach, all the impressions, all the views are a community that was built over time by a certain creator. And this is very important because this is a relationship, often parasocial relationship, but still it is. And there also is a feedback loop, and you definitely always rely on that community. Yeah, I have to bring in a word that is very overused. It's merely a shell of a word, but this has to be filled with life and expectations, because there's never long-term value without authenticity. So the creator economy moves very fast. You can grow very, very fast. You can have a hype, but in the long run, you have to be authentic and deliver what communities also expect from you in a lot of cases. So I also want to point out authenticity doesn't not necessarily mean that you are a good person. You can also be authentic in a bad way. Think of celebrities, politicians who are, what you can say they are authentic, but they're not necessarily good persons. So, also important, the research community also recognize that, and there is already several research done on authenticity and how it influences the influencer marketing itself. So how to be and stay authentic, ideally in a good way. This is basically the overall challenge. So I brought a few examples with some screenshots. I will pace a little bit over them, but of course you probably all know the hype about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, the whole market. There were internationally several content creators who also jumped on that hype and promoted, I would say, in a lot of times scammy business practices. Then, especially in our industries, you always have companies who at a time may produce interesting, beloved products, but have working conditions that are harmful or even unlawful. Then, which was also a big topic here over the past 3 days, case opening, pack openings, loot boxes, it is a big issue, and of course we all know how addictive they can be. Then you have industries that damage our planet, who have a lot of money, who try to greenwash a lot of times themselves. And of course, you have an environment also with online platforms that tends to be populist in a lot of situations. So this is basically a daily challenge where you have to position yourself. So, final slide. Everyday question and also solution kind of a way. It may sound pathetic first, but hear me out. You have to ask yourself, who do you want to be, basically? Who do we want to be in this world with everyday business? And this may sound informal and hard to answer every day when you do business, but you can formalize it more and more, and you can also internalize and institutionalize it more and more. If you set up own virtues, values, for example, own personal brand for yourself, something that also gives you guidance. So, for example, the brand values, Hand of Blood as content creator and founder, he stands for diversity, promotes it, he stands for animal welfare, and he also regularly publishes news content about climate change. And this is something he does for years. So, but if you face inquiries, new clients where you don't know what to do, of course, there's the possibility to research. It's very simple to just put a name in Google and put a critique behind it, and you will get a lot of results if a company is problematic. And if not, this is also a lot of cases a good indicator already if you should work with someone. Then, if it doesn't help or it's problematic, third-party opinion, always a possibility you can rely on and just ask experts. Then, we heard it before, critical thinking, it's very important in this business. And also, as Celia showed, we are always, a lot of times in this fast-paced environment are trapped within the fast thinking, and this here, the everyday question and solution, is definitely slow thinking, which takes more time and effort, and you definitely have to do it. And then ideally, you can make an informed decision about if you should work with someone, if you should publish content, or if you shouldn't. And even if you make mistakes, there's always the possibility to be transparent and talk about it and continue to learn. So, that's it from me, so over to you. Thank you.